Baby, loving you is such a chore, 'cause you're steady moving immature. Immature, cho, 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 cho. Immature, cho, 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 cho. Immature, cho, 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 cho. Immature. Oh my God! Amazing! I know! Oh, I don't know how I do it sometimes. I surprise myself.
I feel emotional.
Thank you. I can see the tears in your
Yeah. I feel so emotional. I just can't show it. Wow. Damn. Integral Britain's got talent.
I can't. Hi guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of the First Girl Podcast. My name is Genevieve.
And I'm Favour.
Wow. How's your week been, Favour?
This week has been interesting actually.
Okay.
It's been okay. I just feel like some days I'm just like, yo, I'm just out at weekend.
Where are you?
We're at Dow, really.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because what she
I
said.
wake up in the morning, I'm thinking, yo, am I in the mood for this?
No.
But it hasn't been a bad week, I'm not gonna lie.
Like Thursday, I woke up and I thought it was Friday. Today, I woke up, I thought it was Saturday. Then I was like, oh no.
Literally. Like this morning, my mom was asking me, is it week? And I said, no.
So everyone's feeling it.
I don't know what it was. I just
something
felt
in
like,
the air.
I just feel like I'm not meant to be working.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So,
I get that.
But it hasn't been a bad week. It's just, I just feel like I just didn't want to work.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, you know, when you just have those days, you just want to just not do anything.
Just relax, yeah.
And
yeah.
It's even worse when you're feeling like you don't want to do anything and there's so much to do. But there's days where I actually feel bored. But I don't want to do anything right now, but I had so much to get through. But yeah.
Crazy.
It was a good week. I'd rather that than be bored. So yeah. What about you?
Thank you. I'm always just waiting for you to ask me. It was a horrible week, Favour.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was horrible. Guys, I came here. It was like a 50 minute journey. Then I had to wait 2 hours for Favour to come downstairs. Do you know? And as a guest, I wasn't even offered water, juice, something, a little something to snack on. As we say in French, no, we say in Lingala, what do we say? There was nothing, Favour.
At this point, I need to start asking you what we're going to say next, because this is how you come on the internet, start destroying defamation of character. Because
you defamation of character me.
That's not even
every single time you accuse me of liking white men. That's defamation of character.
Why are you shouting? No, the question is, you're literally shouting, and I'm right next to you.
Yeah, secondly, but I need the people to hear.
When did you wait for 2 hours? What time?
Right now.
What time exactly?
I came here just before 6. What time is it now, Favour? Check your phone.
Oh, so
I need you to check your phone.
Oh, so we just started talking now?
I need you to check your phone.
Okay. Let me just say something. Since we're going to talk about...
It's 7...
Oh.
7:42.
And I'm just coming downstairs now.
7:42. Okay. I set up everything.
If we're going to expose each other... So Jen had 30 minutes to do anything. I came downstairs... And this girl's done absolutely nothing.
Am I not the guest?
It's about the podcast. We're working as a team. She did nothing. Like, nothing. She just sat there and she's like, oh, because she's expecting the camera to walk. No, wait. The camera's meant to walk and then connect itself and then walk back and a camera is meant to bring the mic as well.
Let me defend myself. This house is a Christian household. Mm-hmm. With the Lord, anything is possible. So the camera could.
Anyways, guys, long story short, Jen did absolutely nothing.
No, my weight's been weak.
Your weight is weak. What's happening to you, mate?
My week has been great.
That's good.
Thank you. It's been a great week. It's been decent at work. It's been a bit quiet because the kids were off.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a great week. Can't complain. To be fair,
do you prefer it quiet or do you prefer it when it's like a bit more busy?
I don't really mind. I just feel like because. Even with my colleague, we were saying that just because there's no one here, like there's still work to do. It's not like there's nothing to do. I think it's just that you get delayed in doing work because you have children coming and then parents calling and then when you have certain things that needs to get done. But I don't know. It was all right. I don't really have an opinion, to be fair.
That's good. So we both had a good week.
By the grace of God, it's been a great week. But How are you guys? Faith, I think this is something that we need to consistently do.
I find it cringe. We're talking to no.
Yeah, we're talking to people.
Okay,
are people not listening? Anyway, last week, after the cameras went off, I shared my honest, what's that thing called? Deep emotional
Sentiment? No.
I don't know.
Expression?
I guess so. Sensitive information. So something had happened, and I was just like, to favour. It made me feel some type of way because. Okay. Wow.
I'm so done. It's a bit disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, don't touch me though.
Please. I think it was the apple I had earlier. But no, something happened and I couldn't really figure out why I was thinking about it. And the favour was like, basically, it was a situation where I heard something and then it got me thinking, what would people say if I wasn't there, right? And then I was like, I think this is something we should talk about this week. So that's what we're going to talk about, identity. Identity. So favour, if you were not in the room, how would you want people to describe you?
Okay, I didn't know that was the...
I literally sent you a voice note.
No, you didn't. You sent me a voice note about... It's not no. Anyways. This question is interesting because it's like... You would want yourself to be perceived in a certain way, but then that's not... That might... I don't have to explain it. It might not reflect you exactly. So I don't know. Personally, I would want people to see me as a friendly person.
Yeah.
Okay,
not to see you, but if they were literally describing you,
or how, but yeah, that's how you describe.
Friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of a description, right?
Yeah.
So friendly, approachable, easygoing, confident, yeah. But in reality, I'll be described as I personally feel like people can be slightly intimidated if they don't know me. Yeah. And also a bit too honest. But then it's like, if you don't ask me, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that would lie. So don't waste your time asking for my opinion
No, literally. If your favour's very...
If you expect me to tell you and lie to you.
Yeah.
So, but then if you're a person that's very honest, it's hard to be perceived as friendly because most times the honest people, you're going to hurt people because most times people don't actually want to hear the truth. They just want you to tell them what they want to hear. And even if, because I usually say it's not always how you say is what. There's not always what you say is how you say it.
Yeah.
Even when you use that, there's some things that are very direct and you'd have to say in a way that's like without having to be too diplomatic. Like be direct.
But I think your honesty is not a bad honesty.
Yeah, I feel
it's not an honesty where someone asks you something and you give them an answer like, oh, like they're hurt about it.
Yeah, but still, it's like, because I'm honest, automatically I'm not as friendly. That's my point.
Okay.
I feel like the friendliest people are very, very nice and very nice.
And accommodating. But
when you're very, very nice, you're not very honest though. I personally feel like if you're now being nice is not a bad thing, but then you can't be nice all the time.
No.
So a person that's very, very, very nice, that person is not honest. So I would say I'm nice, I'm friendly, but someone could perceive that as, I don't really know.
Yeah.
She's a bit stuck up, if you don't know me. Even though I am not actually.
I wouldn't say stuck up. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but
yeah.
Maybe I can't say anything.
If you've never spoken to me before, unless, because now I'm obviously being more conscious and I'm being more like smiley, unless if you meet me now, but before, when I didn't even know that people will never speak to you and I automatically assume who you are by just looking at you, they would definitely say I was stuck up. Because I'm just minding my own business, just sitting there.
True.
And someone just looking at you think, I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get what you mean. I
get that, but now obviously I'm a bit more conscious. Doesn't mean I'm changing myself, no. But like, I'm more conscious. I don't feel bad when I can tell someone is not trying to talk to me. So I make the first move sometimes just to like
break the perception.
Because I'm like, I can tell like you wouldn't know what type of person I am if you didn't speak to me. So I'll be like, I'll just go up to you.
Yeah. We love a self-aware queen.
Yeah, I'm a bit more self-aware because people started telling me, like, I didn't know, like, if I never spoke to you, I wouldn't have known. When you hear that once, 4 times, 5 times, you start to think, yo,
what is wrong with me?
What is going on?
Hi, it's me.
No.
I'm the problem.
It's not me. I'm not the problem. The problem is people need to stop judging the book by its cover. And the cover is not even, I don't even get it, because my cover is not even like anything crazy.
I don't know what it, again, I literally could be biased. Maybe that's what it is, but I don't see it with Favour. Like, I think with you, it's more so your facial expressions that you can't control. But I don't see it with Favour, because the way that I view, you just mind your own business. Because it's one of those things where if you were a type of person where you mind your own business, someone tries to approach you and you're like,
yeah, I'll never do that.
Then it'd be different. But you're not like that.
Yeah, I never do that.
You're not like that. So
they don't even want to approach me sometimes because they already see. But this is before. Now I don't know. I can't really. I can't
gauge it now.
Yeah, I can't gauge it now because I'm not even. I don't give people the chance. I don't even think about it as much anymore. I usually just, if I want to speak to you, I'll speak to you. Before I'll be like, are they gonna come speak to me? And I don't even know. I don't care for that now. But yeah, that's. I feel like that's probably how. Yeah, the way I describe myself, but I don't know if people describe me that way. How about you?
I don't know. I feel like I don't think I'm trying to.
It's a hard question.
It is.
You feel like it's easy, but it's actually not easy to answer this question.
I feel like I know because of people's reactions to me, but I don't know how to put it into words, if that makes sense. So I would say that people might say that I'm very like, oh, but I don't know what the word is for that.
Optimistic.
Optimistic?
Yeah.
Okay. Optimistic. I'm very optimistic. How would people describe me? Yeah, optimistic.
Yeah.
I think just to round it off, I'm quite an optimistic person. Yeah.
Is that it?
Beautiful.
Oh. Do you know what we should do? We should describe each other.
Go on then, Favour.
No, I'm saying this, so you should start first.
If I can't even do myself.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's easier to describe someone else though.
That's true. I think with Favour, what's the word? You know what you want.
Yeah.
Like, you don't mess around. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and people will know. If you like it, and people will know. So you know what you want and what you like. You're a no-nonsense person, I think. But then the thing is, I'm basing this... No, it's fine. And then, if it was like
No, not first impression.
No. Yeah, so you know what you like. You're a no-nonsense person. And I would say that you're very... How would I describe Favour?
It's only been 15 years.
Talented? Favour, why are you shocked?
Okay.
Why are you actually shocked? Driven. I'd say that. Talented, driven. Yeah. And I think they're all just
Any future husband. Are you hearing? Talented, driven. What else?
Desperate.
Damn. Damn. Honestly, this life.
No, yeah, I think all of that just plays in everything in who you are. Yeah, so you know what you want. You're a no-nonsense person. You're talented, driven. That's what I would say.
Fair enough. I would describe you.
I'm beautiful.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, that beautiful comment is so cringe. I have to just...
Really?
Yeah, I find it weird.
I think it depends who it comes from.
No, it's not. I just don't... Yeah, that's a whole...
Like, if Jaden said to you, you're beautiful, you're going to find that cringe?
Oh my God, no.
Exactly.
Because Jaden's like my little...
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends where it comes from.
True. Yeah, that's a whole different discussion. But how would I describe Jen? I would say that Jen is very funny. People don't know. The thing is, you have to get to know. And when people and do you know what I love? It's like she's one of those people. You're one of those people that I don't know. Did I say she or you? Anyways,
no, she, they.
No, because it's like I'm talking to you, but I'm trying to tell them.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
Am I referring to you, third person, or like?
Just say.
Anyways,
yeah.
Jen. If you don't know Jen, you'd think, oh, Jen's just quiet.
Listen, yeah, after I gave my testimony, the Oscar came to me at least 2-3 times. There's a side of you I've never seen before. He said it at least 2-3 times.
And in I'm thinking, how can I be friends with a quiet person? Guys, and the thing, I kept trying to convince me that, guys, no, I'm the quiet one. And they look at me like, you're just doing too much. I'm thinking, you don't understand. Yeah. She talks more than me. I don't, like, literally, if you just put a camera and watched our day, Jen does, she speaks more than me.
No, I
So I'm
do.
like, I'm trying to explain to people and people just look at me like, okay, maybe I need to get to see it. I'm just like, don't worry, when it comes out. So it's like, you know, I feel like I would describe it as an onion. You need to like,
Yeah, peel it.
peel the layers. Like, and once you've uncovered the roots, just start running. Run! Yes, because when it's like, run. Anyways, no. So Jen is funny. She is a lot more, I would say, accommodating to people's behavior more than me. So you have more patience in that area.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm just like,
Get out of my face.
if I sense something, I'm just gone. I don't even say anything. You just wouldn't see me there. Like I just wouldn't. I don't have time and the patience to be like, oh, maybe trying to give them 1 million excuses. I don't have time for it. Jen does. Jen will sit there and be like, but I feel like, no, but think about it like this. No, I don't want to think about it like that, right? So she's more accommodating, more. She's a lot more friendly in the world's view of friendliness.
Yeah.
I'll say you're actually a lot more driven than you would realize, because in a sense, like you've been consistent with the things that you said you wanted to do, and even though it's not obviously things in life don't always go the way you want it to go, but like you've still kept going in some way or the other in the things that you've said from like. Not primary school, from like years, like I want to do this, I want to do that. So you still maintain that energy. So clearly it's like if things about life is just consistency. So if it's not going to happen now, if you're still consistent, it's going to happen eventually
at some point. Yeah.
So in that sense, you're driven as well. What else? I'll say excited, but the excitement only comes when someone actually knows you properly. Because if they don't know you, they wouldn't see that side of you.
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know that you're like, because this is Jen when you first get to know her. She'll be like this. Well, actually, this is Jen before, because now you've changed. I've realised.
Okay.
Even with new people, you're showing your more crazy.
There's a bit, there's a bit of it, but not the full extent.
Yeah. Because before it's like you just sit there and just like.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, you're not doing that.
No. I feel like it's because I'm just trying to gauge.
Yeah.
Like if you can't vibe with that part of me, I'm like,
yeah. I don't know if I would say that you're still that same quiet person before, where it's like.
It could also depend on the environment.
Maybe it's because we've been in the same environment where it's like. Maybe that's what it is. So I don't know how you are, but before it was like Jen didn't say anything. She just sit there, and I'm like, why is she not talking? This girl's mad. Why is she pretending to the world? What's going on? And then before you know it, out of nowhere, and the things I can see when people realize that I see it in their eyes. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm going, yes. I see them uncover like, what? It's the funniest thing, and you can just tell like they don't know what to do because they're just thinking,
where did you come from?
I thought you didn't speak. Like you should, like So in that sense, like you're more of like an onion. Like there's a lot of layers to you. So I would definitely describe it. If someone said to me describing, I'd be like, oh, she's a person that talks a lot, but you just need to get to know her.
You get to that point. Yeah, I think that was a great selling point for each of us. So if there's anyone that likes the sound of us, we're here.
If you want someone to be your cheerleader, and if everything, even if you say you want to be a man that stands up all day and not do anything. I want to be a stand-up guy. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Jenny will be like, you go for it. You can do it. You got strong legs. She'll be like, you want to stand all day? Honestly, I knew it. You can do it. Because I've been seeing your legs like, it's possible. And you're like, what the hell? Just tell the truth. What does that even mean? She would honestly encourage you and make you feel like, yes, man. You said I
Have I ever done that with you?
Yeah, but you don't know you do it. Yeah, you have. Yeah.
That's great.
You do all the time naturally with the different people.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, oh my God. Honestly. You're like, honestly, that was so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
No, I do that. I clock it with people from church. I'm like,
oh, wow, that's so beautiful. I'm like, what did the person do? Like, yo, I'm like, you're not stretching it that way. They didn't do anything.
Oh my god!
If you want someone to gas
no, you know
up.
what? It's actually true because I do this with I realize I do this with Abby a lot. Like, because she has a good sense of style, innit? I'm like, wow, Abby, I saw you, and I just dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
I actually do that a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, this went into a whole different direction.
No, it's still the same direction, identity.
No, it is. It is. But in terms of... So basically, we wanted this episode to give like a big sisterly advice vibe. Because I was saying to Favour, I feel like maybe when we were growing up compared to how kids are growing up now, I feel like identity is a thing that people really struggle with, because you go online, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, wherever it is that you spend most of your time, and there's like, I don't know, that you just see so many different types of people that are like maybe successful, they're popular, they're this and that, and because you want what they have, you then feel like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, but it's not you. And I feel like now the people, even older, it doesn't even have to be younger, but I feel like the people now are really struggling in just being content in who they are and not relying on external
Validation.
External validation, to be able to just be like, this is who I am, and you know, that's it. So that's what I wanted us to kind of just talk about and just kind of give you guys, I guess, because I feel like, I was saying to Favour, I feel like me and Favour, we're very settled in who we are. We know who we are, and we've gotten at a point in our lives where it's like, we know what we're willing to accept and not accept. We know our boundaries, and it's going to take a lot for someone to come and like switch things up in us. So I thought it'd be great for us to, you know, just give some advice, share some experiences of how it is that we have gotten to this point and how we can help, you know, our listeners to get to that point as well.
Definitely. What I would say is start off with, I'll say that when you're being your true authentic self, you would even feel a lot happier about yourself in general.
Yeah.
Like you feel a sense of peace knowing that. Okay, because then it's like, if people now accept you for being yourself, you'd feel like, so people actually not that you want people to accept you, but it's even better when people accept you for that version of you, and you know truly well that this is me. This is how I want to be, and people have accepted me for that. And
even in my wrongs, people will still want to be around me.
Because the thing is, if you try, because one thing I've noticed especially with society, there's a popular version of how people should be like. Especially one example is being a, what's that word? A
baddie?
Not confident person. What's the opposite for quietness?
Oh, extroverted.
Yeah. Extroverted person, funny, outgoing. All these things are still describing an extroverted person. People that are quiet are not necessarily encouraged to be quiet. Because even when you apply for jobs, they always ask you, are you a team player? Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? More like sort of driven towards the extroverted side and attributes of someone that loves to be with people. And there's other people as well, like people not everyone fits into that category of being always wants to be around people. And the thing is, if you get comfortable knowing, I'm not saying you should never want to change your flaws or improve yourselves, but like if you're comfortable knowing that this is who I am, and then you would naturally attract the people that are for you. Yeah. And then when you attract the people that are for you, it's like... It's
easy.
Oh my gosh, everything makes so much sense.
It's so easy,
you don't have to go out of your way to explain things to people that get you. If they get it, they get it. Like, it's not, if they don't get it, it's just awkward because you're having to like try and form and bend.
Yeah. Just to have their little...
Yeah, just to be like, I feel accepted. But then when you're yourself and you've been consistently yourself and you attracted the right people for you, everything just flows. Like everything, like if you plan something, it just you wouldn't have to over second guess or question people's intentions with you, because if you're yourself, they like you for you.
Yeah.
But if you're not yourself, and then people have you've attracted people that like the version of you that's not you, it's like now you always have to try and
live up to that
standard, and it's like it's so hard.
Yeah, and sometimes you might just be tired and you can't even be yourself.
You can't even tell them that, oh, today I'm not feeling it,
because then they'll be like, yeah, but you're always feeling it.
Like you honestly, like being yourself is the best, and it just goes a long way. Even with just everything, even with like going for what you want in life, it would all make sense.
In every aspect.
Literally, as long as you have stayed consistent in yourself, everything would mold to fit you, basically. Because you shouldn't mold yourself to fit the world person, and understand. Because especially now where there's like, I'm not going to talk about this too much, but now that there's so many identities, right? There's so many things flying around, and people just waking up. People are waking up one morning claiming to be this, claiming to be that.
Flying around like a spirit.
No, honestly, it's very confusing.
No, it is.
And if you try to now follow that standard of what is out there, you find yourself feeling extremely confused, and you find yourself feeling you have a heightened anxiety even, because it's like every day there's a new thing, there's a new trend, there's a new thing that people are identifying as. There's so many things. It's like you can't even keep up. You start to feel like, wait, am I not good enough? You start to second guess yourself. It's too much. It just makes sense for you to stay who you are. And I would say for me, the best source of identity is looking into the Bible and God. Because that would keep you sane and keep you like grounded, level-headed and grounded, and give you a foundation to start with. Because sometimes it's hard, because you can say to somebody, be yourself, but they might not even know who they are. Because imagine someone has gone through their whole life and just taking from here, taking from there, taking from there, taking from there, and they're like, I don't know who I am. And it's like, if you're that person, go to the Bible or just pray about it. Honestly, a foundation for a person that's struggling to find their identity, I would say go to the Bible and pray. That's start there, and then slowly build your way up. But the one way to know if you're not being yourself, or you're not being your true identity, is when you feel like you just can't be at peace. You can't be comfortable. Yeah, you feel uneasy, and you want to express something, but you're like,
you keep holding back.
You're holding back. That's when you know, because sometimes you might not feel, because some people might just feel like, no, this is me, and then one day, not everyone even, some people are not even fully aware that they're not even being themselves, like, because they've been playing this wrong character their whole lives. Like, especially I've seen TikTok videos where people, especially introverted people, say after being outside all day, they go back home and they feel exhausted. And I'm like, but what's wrong with you going outside and being that version of yourself that doesn't want to talk too much? Like, obviously you should adapt, but it shouldn't suck all the energy out of you. That's unhealthy.
No, that's true.
Why can't people accept you for being quiet? If everybody was shouting in the room, then how are you going to hear anyone? You need a balance. Every personality is important. For you to now mold yourself to please other people, are they doing the same thing for you? So
why? Exactly. It's actually not by force. No, I think what you've said is 100% true. Just about like when you find your people, you find your place, your situation, your community, it's just that liberating feeling where it's like, I can just walk into a room and I'm not overthinking the way I'm walking, the way I'm talking. Who do I need to go to? How do I need to approach them? You don't need to do that. Just, I can walk into a room and people will already be excited to see me because it's me. It doesn't matter if I'm introverted, extroverted. It doesn't matter if I accidentally tripped. It doesn't matter, like, people, and it's just such a liberating feeling. And I honestly wish that for everyone in the world, because it's like you said, it's just exhausting having to just overthink, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? Do I need to dress a certain way? Do I need to look a certain way? Do I need to... Are you not tired?
Like constantly seeking validation from people that are also seeking validation. It's like,
oh my God, that one.
It's a cycle of validation seekers, because no one is really, like, everybody's really trying to impress everybody. So,
do you feel like you went through, I don't want to say identity crisis, but you went through a point in your life where you didn't know?
Yeah, I think we talked about this before on the podcast, when I was saying how, especially because the issue with identity is everybody kind of knows who they are to an extent.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need people to confirm.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things that we know about ourselves, because people have told us. Like, because you might not even imagine you're a person like me now. I didn't know that I was an honest person. I just thought I was just saying.
You're just talking.
I was just talking.
Yeah.
Until people put labels and tell you, oh, this is what you do. You might not even notice that's a side of you. So it's like some parts of our identity is like, even though it's not the best, but it's still, it requires people to tell you to an extent. And there was a point where I was just like, almost like going through like, well, hold on, but this is not how I feel. This is not how I am. So people are telling you, oh, this is what you do. You're like, but this is not what I'm trying to.
That's not the intention.
That's not the intention.
Yeah,
So it's like, now I had to like go through a stage where it's like, even though I'm fully confident with who I am, type of person I am, and you still have to adapt to society. And you don't want to come across as a person that's not flexible. So I'm not changing my identity in the sense of like, I'm now dancing to the tune of people telling me, oh, you're a bit like this. No, I'm trying to improve myself in areas I feel like can be improved on. But if I believe, going back to me, if I believe that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to change, I'm not changing it. So I can hear certain things, I'm like, okay, that could be, I can work on that. If I don't want to work on that, I don't have to work on it, because at the end of the day, I don't have to change myself for anybody. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, the whole point is I'm not changing myself, but we can improve as humans, and that's like with life. You're meant to grow. You're meant to get better. If you don't get better as a person, then are you really living? Because do you know what I mean? To really live life, you have to really
be in constant improvement.
Constantly improving. Yeah. So I can't just be like, oh, because I've identified as this, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to ever grow or evolve. There's still room for improvement, but my core values of who I believe I am has never changed.
Yeah.
It's especially, and I think the biggest reason is because my core values is kind of linked to being a Christian. So those things
come hand in hand.
It would like, no matter what you tell me.
Yeah, there's certain things that's just not going to change.
You can tell me, I need to be a bit more like softer in the way I say things. That's fine. But if you tell me, oh, I believe you should be a person that does this, do that, that's things I know that's complete against my religion, I'm not doing it, because it's like, then now you're trying to confuse me.
Change me.
You're trying to change me, and I am not doing that. So that's a difference. So I would say I definitely went through identity crisis, where I had to like sort of re-understand. I don't even know what English. Just really understand. Wait, hold on. I feel like the way I see myself and the way people are seeing me is clashing.
Yeah.
So I need to understand what is going on here. Yeah, that's it. What about you?
At first I was going to say no, because I feel like I've always been someone that's been very certain in myself, and I've always just, kept myself to myself. But the one that always tends to come up in conversation, the sixth form.
Oh.
I feel like that time was really a life-defining time for me, guys. As in, Faith was up to being my friend at that time. She said, I'm cutting you off.
I couldn't handle it, man.
I said,
yeah, but it didn't last too long.
No, it didn't. But
still, I really went through it, man. Even though I was still your friend, I was ranting.
Really?
Ask Anissa, yes. But I didn't understand.
It was an identity crisis. But yeah, I think sixth form for me was definitely that, because going back to what we were saying about how you don't feel comfortable and you don't feel peace, and you go home and you feel exhausted and you're overthinking things, and you start saying and acting in a way that is just completely against who you are. I would say sixth form was that time for me. Even myself, I'm confused. Looking back at it, it's like, what were you actually doing? Like, who actually sent you to sit there and act like this? But the thing is, I feel like, I don't know, because I feel like even though I went through that, in certain moments, there was times where I pulled away because it was too much for me.
Yeah, of course, which is why I was still kind of your friend. Yeah. Of course you pulled away sometimes, because there was a point they even turned against you.
Guys, if you actually knew what I went through.
Do you know what's so mad? These people hated me, but it's like okay. So imagine, okay, this is how it worked. So we've always established our relationship in school. There's people I didn't like, they didn't like me, and it's been like that. I've been very comfortable with that. I've never tried to be liked by them, because I don't care. What the hell? This is different than me and Jen. We're very different people. So Jen wants to accommodate everybody.
I do.
And she really wanted everyone to an extent like you.
I did.
For peace.
Yeah.
And it's impossible.
Yeah.
In life, you have to choose a side.
Yeah.
You're either with them or you're not with them.
Yeah.
So the issue is, you can't now be trying to be friends with these people that don't like
your best friend.
And it's like, there's a conflict. So then the times when they turned against Jen, they tried to speak to me that they didn't like. And I was confused. I'm thinking, are you guys mad?
I don't remember that,
What? There was a time I remember I was coming down from, when I was still in the same...
the form.
Form.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
they literally came to be like, I'm telling you, man, Jen, like what she did was what I'm doing.
Oh, that whole situation.
Yeah.
Please.
They dragged it though.
Yeah, they did.
They dragged it to the point.
They
I was just
did.
like, what did she actually do? I remember one time, I think she said, I said to her, I was like, what did she do?
Remember, listen, all I did, I think I sent a DM.
My point is, nothing happened. She didn't do anything. I don't care what you did. They just wanted a reason to drag out a situation that was not there. And that's what they used to do. And that was the reason why I couldn't be, because they would turn against each other. They had this bullying personality trait I didn't like.
Because if they're listening.
Who's them? If you're a bully, cut the camera. No, don't cut the camera. If you're a bully, that's bad. That's very bad.
It's not to say that you're a bully now.
Yeah, exactly. But
if you feel attacked,
you need to repent, because if you're a bully, you need to ask for forgiveness, because why were you bullying little kids in school? That's not good. You need to repent.
I can't stand you.
You need to repent. So no. If anyone's listening, think is that me? Yes. Because if you're not a bully, you wouldn't think that's you. So if you're a bully and you feel like that's you, repent. Go and pray. You still have time.
Open the Bible.
You still have time.
Look at what Jesus did for you.
I say, God, I don't know what I did in the past.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
He will show you.
Honestly.
That's the thing about Jesus. He said, you don't know.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you in a dream.
So that was the reason why I couldn't be friends with certain people, because I just don't like anyone feeling like they can like bully people because of what? Like, what do you have that I can't? Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, look, that's a different.
But yeah, that was my situation with identity. But apart from that, I feel like I've always been very comfortable in who I am, my interests. I remember, this is a very like nonsense example, but just like when I used to be in love with Justin Bieber, people used to say, "Oh, he's a girl."
Yeah.
I don't care. I will put Justin Bieber on YouTube in the classroom and I'll blast it. Mindless behavior, I will blast it. Fan fiction, I will read it.
Honestly. And the thing is, the one thing I've realised, people know how sometimes people want to like try and not do certain things because they might not look cool.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense, because like I keep saying, me and Jen are very different.
No, we aren't.
Like in every sense of the way, apart from like obviously we're normal people and but like she has things that she likes, and I would never like that. But I've never told you, oh my God, like, as a joke, obviously, like,
K-pop.
Yeah, but it's never like a serious thing of I make you feel. Because if I did, you wouldn't talk about them.
No.
Because if someone makes you feel bad about something, you stop to
retract.
You try exactly.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've been able to stay exactly who you like, what you like to do, and I'm like this person that loves this whole makeup, whatever it is.
I remember I didn't understand it. I remember one time we were in sixth form and you and Marcella were looking at this like makeup thing. I literally sat there and I was like, I don't get it. Even now, I still don't get it.
And it's worked. It's been working for years, because we've never tried to change each other.
No.
I've never tried telling you, oh, Jen, I feel like you should dress like this. You've never told me how I should. You let people be who they want to be, and it's beautiful because that way everybody can merge. Like,
yeah.
It's so beautiful when someone is being their true self. It's like, it's just, honestly.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It makes sense. It makes your life so much easier.
Do you have any kind of piece of advice or word for maybe someone who recognizes that the internet is having an influence on them in terms of identity? And do you have any advice for them that will allow them to step away from that and kind of find out who they really are? Because I feel like if you go on TikTok and it's trends, you'll have feminine energy. Okay, what's feminine energy? You'll have cottagecore. What's cottagecore? Then you'll have girls that wear like the baggy trousers and the small tops, and then you'll have girls that do clean girl. They're so favor. I'm exhausted. I'm actually exhausted. So do you have any word for anyone that you're allowing yourself to be very influenced by these things, but what can they now do to step away from that?
It depends. If you want to be influenced, I say be influenced, because that's still part of your identity.
But influence to the point where every new trend you're hopping on it.
Oh, that's different.
That's what I mean.
So there's obviously you can't do too much of something, but if you're a person that you just enjoy seeing new things and you don't mind trying it once in a while, you don't want to be obsessed and you're following every single trend. But if you like to you like certain things and that's your interest, then I don't think there's a problem. I think the problem is when you're now mirroring. So you see someone's life and you're reflecting that.
Yeah.
In real life, you see someone's life online and you're trying to reflect that, and it's not real. Because I haven't done no studies or anything. 80%.
Wow. One number.
It's a very big, but I know what I'm saying. 80% of people that post flashy things online is not real.
Sometimes it's not theirs.
Because one thing I've noticed with my little experience in life is people that actually genuinely have it do not like to post it.
No.
They actually don't post things that they have. So the people that do sit there and make an effort to post what they have, it's not real.
Can I ask a question? This might be a bit mad, a bit of a tangent. People that constantly post about their relationships and their marriage and the
Not real.
Okay.
And I'll stand by that point every day. Because if you think about it, without this podcast, people would even know we're friends.
No, literally. When was the last time your birthday? Yeah, no, literally.
So real life situation. I have siblings that I live with every single day. Do I take pictures of them every day? No. So things that happen in real life things that are really happening. When do you have the time to capture those moments?
When do you have the time to go? Oh wait, let me get my.
And then make a cute video of how happy you are as a couple. It's not real.
No, it's not.
It's not real. And the moment you put a phone, you're already acting automatically.
Yeah, 100%.
Nobody is able to be, unless someone's capturing you and you're not aware the camera's in front of you. As soon as you put a camera in front of someone's face, it's an instant act that is not real.
Yeah.
It's just not. I would never buy into it. I don't. And there's been too many examples of failed relationships that people were highly obsessed with online, and now they're like, oh my God, what happened? What happened is it was never real. No one that's really that happy is trying to convince you that they're happy.
Yeah,
come on, man.
That's true.
So if you're trying to follow something you see online and you're like, this is what I want to change myself to be like this, don't do it. You can be inspired, but it's not real. You're trying to change yourself to something that's not even real. That person's not even. That's not who they are.
And I think piggybacking off what you just said about inspiration.
Why shouting?
I think it's true. I think when we look at the internet and we look at trends, and for some people, the things that we see, that is them, and it's their reality, it's their life, it is what it is. I think adding on to what you were talking about, be inspired. Don't be encouraged to change. Don't be encouraged to follow their lifestyle and try to, take it on and whatever, but be inspired. Because there's certain things I see on TikTok and on Instagram, I'm like, oh my God, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But if it's not me and it doesn't identify with the way that I feel like I want to present myself or the story I want to tell about myself, then I'm not going to do it. But yeah, I think when it comes to social media, we should take it with a pinch of salt, because number one, not everything that you see is a reality. Number two, like you said, it's a performance, right? For a lot of people, it's a performance. I bet you have some people that are like, oh my God, I really don't feel like it, but I have to get paid. Hey guys, I have to get ready in 5 minutes. You think someone's got the energy all the time? No. And number three, again, if it doesn't speak to who you are and you feel like, because I feel like something that is not necessarily not meant for you, but it's not 100% you, you're going to put so much effort into it than you need to.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're doing something, whether it's a makeup look, a style, just a story you're telling, a video, whatever it is, if you feel like you're putting so much effort into it and you're constantly not satisfied, it's not for you, darling. Let it go. Like literally let it go. And I feel like this can be applied to anything, not just social media, your relationships as well, friends, family, romantic partners, a job. If your clothes not fitting you, let it go.
I think it's so important to start. I think the foundation is starting off to actually understanding and discovering who you are first.
100%.
Because that way everything would make sense. Because it's hard to not know what to take and what you accept if you don't really know who you are. Because if you don't know yourself, it's like, and anything works. Like,
yeah, and
as long as it makes
anything,
you accept anything. And the one thing that's very interesting about this society and life is that people will tell you who you are. and they would try to they would tell you. They would be like, oh, you're this person. And if you don't know yourself,
you're gonna take it.
You take it because you're like, yeah, I've heard it so many times. So it's important to start off with discovering and like going on a journey if that's needed of uncovering and be like, wait, who am I as a person? What do I actually like? What do I dislikes? What do I dislike?
Yeah.
What do I enjoy doing? What's my hobby? What type of company do I want to keep? Just being more intentional about everything and not just allowing things to just happen to you. And in that way, you're like, okay, this is who I am now because everything around me has molded me to be this person.
But I feel like that's something that is a lot easier said than done, because I feel like there are certain things that you need to go through it in order to find out who you are.
Of course, but you shouldn't always let that happen. That's like basically living life and letting chance happen.
Yeah.
Like there should be an element of intentionality. Going back to my favorite word.
Woo!
Like, even though, of course, we're not going to learn everything. Like, we live in a life that's very unpredictable. Life itself is unpredictable. But there's some element of intentionality, which is why some people are richer than some people.
No, that's true.
Like, that is it's not just about richness. Like this, which is why some people are able to get to a certain level of success in whether it maybe in sports, wherever it is. Yeah. They didn't just get there by chance. Like
they put in the work
to get there. So there's so many elements of life that can be controlled by the efforts we put in, which is why people say stuff about being consistent, because being consistent works. Like, it's not. Things can happen to you by chance, but you don't want to live life that way. Like, you don't want to discover that, oh my God, this is what I hate. Why don't you try to find out beforehand? That's like you trying to work with, it's like you're trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
So why don't you do the work beforehand before it gets to you? So when you're there, it's like
you're prepared for it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than wait for things to happen to you, go try to see. If I don't know what you need to do. Everyone's different. The way I did it, I don't know if I want to recommend it. Like, do what I did, which is what did I even do to find out myself? I think I don't actually know what I did. You know.
I think for me, like I said, I've always just known what I've liked and who I am.
Yeah.
It's just.
You
obviously just go through a small period,
and it's like it reminds you, like, I'm right. This is who I am.
Girl.
Yeah. So it's like, things happen. You're like, and it sort of reconfirms that I'm still this person. This is what I still believe in, and nobody can change that. So I don't know what I did to get there, but I know that not everybody is in that stage where they know themselves. So I'm being mindful of anyone that's not in that situation where they're like, I know who I am. If that's you, then you probably have to go through a lot of things to discover that. Therapy, like we always mention, praying, going to the Bible. I'll say those things are more safe, because if I say go to your friends are going to say anything, or allow people to tell you.
I was going to say time alone.
Yeah, that works.
Because I feel like then you don't have any type of external distractions, validation. 100%. So I'm not saying isolate yourself, but just be like, you know what? One weekend, I don't have to be with my friends. Let me go out. Let me see. Do I like going shopping? Do I like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I feel like when you're by yourself and because I feel like it's so easy for you to get swayed, especially if you're not like the most outspoken person or you're introverted. It's very easy for you to get swayed by the opinions and thoughts of other people. But if you honestly just take that time out to be by yourself, again, you don't have to isolate yourself, but there could be a Saturday where you're like, you know what? I don't know. Let me watch a bunch of films to figure out what kind of film I like to watch.
And also what I would say as well, I don't know if this is a popular opinion, but I believe in keeping certain things to yourself
100%.
and not always being so quick to say everything that's happening to you in every situation, because sometimes people's opinions, not even in a bad way, but it could be innocent, but it's like it could sway your mindset. And you might be like, oh, maybe I'm meant to do like this or meant to be like that. Like, you shouldn't question if you've made a decision and
there's a reason
why, and this is like, obviously you're the type of person that likes to do certain things. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't always feel the need to share it. Sometimes someone might be like, I'm just being open to my friends, or just being open in general to my family and blah blah blah, whatever it is. But sometimes there's a hidden element of validation in that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's like you just want people to just like encourage and be like, oh my God, I would do that to you. Yeah. Sometimes just do it, and then whilst you're doing it, like, yeah, obviously there should be a balance. But sometimes if you know you're a person that's constantly seeking validation, you might just need to stop talking too much about what you're doing and stop trying to seek people's confirmation or just do it. Like, just actually go and do it. And then whilst you're doing it, you're like, oh, by the way, guys, I'm doing this. Like, this is what I'm doing. And that way it's like, they're not telling you
because at that point you've done it.
Yeah.
And then, like, oh wow, really, I didn't expect that. And then you're like,
yeah. So it's like, sometimes don't talk too much about everything that you're doing or things that you want to do or things that you're aspiring to have, because a small comment can completely just 100%. Throw you off. And that's something you've been wanting to do, and you've said, I'm this person that wants to go and do this, and then because someone has made a comment that's very, very innocent as well, about themselves, they could be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I personally wouldn't. Yeah, that's it.
They'd be like, oh wow.
That's literally.
People need to have their own backbone. I'm so sick and tired of people like that. Like,
the current hit on so good.
No, because I'm like, the way that I view it is like, this is your life.
Yeah.
This is something that you've chosen to do. Why do you now feel like bloody, what's his name? Montel from Love Island. I am bringing Love Island into it. How are you? Let me just make sure this is recording because I'm sick and tired of people. It's Casa Amor. I need to get close. Camo. It's Casa Amor. How are you letting Tyreek, tell you to go and kiss a girl on the terrace that you're not even feeling? He said, oh yeah, just kiss her on the terrace. And you even you say, okay. And then it isn't until after you have kissed her, you're sitting there like, oh, what have I done? And then you go to bed and you, I don't know, they did. And then your girl comes back and thinks again, well, I had a connection with him. And you sit there like, yeah, she's happy. Yeah. And then even yesterday, and even yesterday when he was like, oh, I just want you to tell me, like, what happened? Like, just be honest with me. I don't know what accent I'm doing. And he was like, you see me, yeah, I'm the type of person that when people talk to me, so now you even know you are a coward. Wow.
Okay. It's a lot.
Wrap it up.
It's a lot going on, mate.
No, because I feel like there's too many of you guys. You're 25 years old and you're letting a 24-year-old footballer tell you to go kiss a girl on the terrace. Do you not have even if he told you to go kiss, you could have said no. I'm going to say faithful to Leah. I can talk to the girl.
Oh damn.
But to kiss on the terrace where if you go and kiss on the terrace, it's confirmed. And you don't kiss her.
It's like an engagement.
Wow. Lord. Now, some of you guys you need a backbone. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
But we live in a society where it's not acceptable to even be yourselves anymore, to be fair. It's like, unless you're being yourself in what's accepted, in the sense of like, unless you're following the mass in what they pushed, especially if you're agreeing and you're in line with what's being pushed, then you can be yourself. You can 100% be yourself. But if you're slightly out of the norm and what's being encouraged, then it's like, maybe you need to be a bit open-minded, and then you start to think, do I need to change my identity? Or maybe I'm like a bit too... Do I need to do... No,
just be yourself, bro.
No.
This is literally be yourself. It's actually okay.
Because this is 2023. 2025, there'll be a different... I skipped...
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I say 2024, it's a bit too close.
It's literally very close.
It's like, in 6 months.
Wow.
Scary. So 2025...
Yeah.
There'll be a new trend of what...
The introverts will be ruling the world.
They'll be like, oh my God, guys, it's cool to be quiet.
No, literally.
So honestly,
yeah,
don't be fazed by what's been pushed out there, what's been encouraged as the typical or the best. I don't know what word to call it.
The
accepted identity.
I just wish people would just understand the realities behind what people that put themselves out. I just want people to understand the realities of it, because it's not like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that every single person who's an influencer is like fake. I'm not saying that. But you do understand that there is a part of it, like, they're probably getting paid. Or the thing that they're showing you, it was literally like they're using it and they're going to send it back to the people. They don't keep that stuff.
And when I say fake, I don't mean that the things that they own is like they don't own it or whatever. Because some people do own stuff.
No,
and
they do, yeah.
They enjoy people seeing what they own. My thing is, I personally don't believe that you're really you're happy about what you own, because I struggle to understand how someone can want to show. If you're so happy, why do you want to show off the I can't explain what I'm trying to say.
No, I get what you mean.
When you're really happy,
because it's something you just want to have it to yourself.
When you really, really have reached a point where you're really content and you're happy with what you have, you'd want that to be kept longer, and you wouldn't want people to say things to tarnish you or say things to make you like sway your mindset in a different way. So you'd want to protect that. So when I see someone going out of their way to show something that they probably own it, but you're showing it in a sense of like, oh guys, I'm so happy I have this. I don't believe that.
The thing I'm thinking is like relationships and stuff.
That's one way, but there's so many things people do online. I personally really struggle to believe that someone that's truly happy about whatever they have would want to go out of their way to show you
constantly
and every day how happy and how much they love whatever that thing.
It'll be like, oh yeah, I've moved on, but you're still doing indirect quotes.
Jen,
story.
What is with your relationship, Jen? I've tried so hard to let go. No, guys. I don't think you understand what's happening. I'm trying to come out of relationships, and she keeps going back to relationships. What happened? It's Love Island, guys. Love Island. Love Island has killed our people. Love Island has killed us.
Now, guys, if you're not watching it this season,
Love Island
is killing the people. Then
it's too much. Love Island, please leave us alone, because I literally cannot have a conversation without some form of relationships.
They were literally arguing,
being dragged
with
into
her brother before we started. You were having a heated discussion, a debate.
No, but honestly,
passionate. I feel like maybe I feel like this because I'm at a point in my life where I'm very confident and settled with myself.
Yeah.
And even not to say that I wasn't before, but I now know who's for me and who's not for me.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm now a bit more open in showing myself, and that's intentional because I'm so sorry, Faith. I'm going to go back to it.
No, do what you want to do, innit?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So basically, Faith and I were talking about something, right? I'm not going to talk about, So we're talking about something, and she was just like, "You're very obvious about it."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ain't got nothing to do with me, right?
Share away. You were very much involved.
What?
Anyway, she was like, "You're very obvious about it." And I came to realize it's because it's intentional. Because I just feel like, why am I going to waste my time feeling something and not knowing how it's reciprocated? Am I explaining it well?
I feel like you need to be more direct than that, because you're just being around the bush. Can you just...
Basically, Faith is saying that when I like someone, I'm very obvious about
100%.
it.
I said that.
I don't want your ad-libs. I actually do not... I didn't ask for your ad-libs. Keep it over there, please.
So
basically,
rude.
When I'm interested in someone, I tend to be quite obvious with it. Don't say anything, right? I don't say anything, but I guess, just from my body language and, non-verbal communication. And the reason is because Favor said, obviously, from a Christian perspective, the girl's not meant to go out there. It's the guy that's meant to approach you. And it's more of a thing of, if that's the case, I would much rather give you some kind of hint that I'm interested, so then you can act on it. Because then it's like, if I'm just, if I'm giving you the eye across the room or whatever it is, if you clock that, you can then make the decision, you know what, she's not for me, or you know what, I might give her a try. Then you can approach me and we can move in the godly direction. But if I'm just sitting there and I'm not giving you any hint, for all I know, you could be interested in me, I'm interested in you, but none of us know anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like people, what was the point of this thing?
You're being intentional about how you want to be perceived.
Yeah.
That's yeah. The thing is, when you said that to me, it made sense. Because to me, like, this is going back to how everybody's different. To me, I just felt like, let the guy die.
Yeah,
let him find out. Like, that's me. That's me. It doesn't mean that my way is correct. The only thing I know for a fact is you should never pursue a guy. But for him to know to an extent, and because obviously it will help the person to pursue you if you have an interest in them. But me, I'm not telling you no.
Nada.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not even trying to give you no hints.
Yeah.
That's me. So to me, I'm just like a bit taken back. Like, I'm like, sis, like, try and hide a bit. Why are you trying to?
And I'm just there like,
Jen is literally in, like, giving all the sign. I'm like, yo, are you gonna try and? And she's like, no, I'm doing it on purpose. I was like, what? I thought. In my head, I thought we're all gonna pretend like we don't see what's going on here.
Yeah.
I thought so. I didn't. The whole time I didn't know that she was doing. I thought she was just doing it like she couldn't help it.
Yeah.
But she knew what she was doing, so I was like, oh, okay, and that's fine. Like I didn't. Even, I wasn't like, oh, don't do that, because it's like that's you, and if that's what you want to do, when you explain what you didn't even need to explain it, but obviously explaining helps. Like when you explain why, it made sense.
It makes
to me. I was like,
sense. Yeah. I just wish people. This is what, listen, if you're going through an identity crisis, if you want to know how we got to it's just, you know what I think helps me in situations like this when it comes to people? I just try to put myself in their shoes, and I come to realise that, number one, we don't have it all figured out. We're learning day by day. You know, if I have days where I don't want to speak to anyone, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, whatever, I'm sure the person that's on YouTube who posts every single week also has those days. So I feel like people need to stop looking at it from face value and look deeper.
And I'll say that if you're struggling to with the whole identity issue and you're like, you're not sure, I'll say that it might be helpful to get people's feedback. Hear me?
Yeah.
Not because you want to change, but then you should give yourself the choice to want to change.
Yeah.
So that if you hear the feedback, okay, this is how I am, this is how I'm perceived. Do I want to change that? Because sometimes you might not know how you're being perceived. So once you find out how you are, if that's what you want to keep it. Don't feel the need to change. It should the difference is you should still have that choice, because it's your identity. You're at the end of the day, you're the person that's living this life. So however you want to be perceived, it's down to you. It shouldn't be because you're trying to please people or impress people. So if you want to find, if you're not sure, if you really don't know, I don't really know who I am, I don't know what kind of person I am, then get people's feedback. What type of person am I?
But the thing is, I don't even think you need to do that. I feel like people naturally tell you how you are anyway.
Sometimes not everybody tells everybody. Because everyone has very, very different relationships. Some people have friendships where they're never honest with each other. They never say anything about it. It's like they just live like, and those people personally, I don't feel like they're completely your friends.
No.
But then
or family, or just I genuinely do think that you just have to be very attentive to it.
Yeah.
I think that's, for example, like maybe like 2-3 years ago, my brothers were always like to me, you're boring, like you're not fun, and they'll be like, oh, like what do you like, because they'll come and show me something and I'll just be like, okay, and oh my god, you're so boring, you don't find anything funny. And that made me realise I'm not 100% myself with my brothers, or I don't know, and that's made me change something in myself because I was attentive to what my brothers said to me. So now when I do certain things, like they'll laugh with me, or I'll try and be like, let's do something together, I don't know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so being more self-aware.
Yeah. So I feel like you don't, so I mean, it depends on how it is you're living your life and the relationships around you, but sometimes I think you just have to be very attentive, and I think that's my thing. I'm very attentive to how people react to me. So if you're very attentive, it doesn't even have to be verbal, just non-verbal. When they're with you, are they open, are they excited, do they make funny faces, do they do this? Look at someone's body language around you, and that I generally think will tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, that's one way.
Okay.
No, because it's not always, not everyone has that ability to be very socially aware.
Very true.
Some people's remember things, especially with life, is all about perception.
Yeah.
I could see this in one way, and someone would be like, no, that's not how it actually looks like. So you could be aware socially, but you're kind of still blocking your vision, the way you see things, because you want to see what you want to see.
Yeah.
So you can't. It helps if someone that's very, very that's willing to be like, I don't have to explain this. Someone that's willing to be corrected. You would be more attentive to your surroundings.
That's true.
But if you know your personality, especially if you know you're a prideful person, you're still struggling with accepting, I don't know, then it might be helpful to just ask, like, guys, how...
Like, for example, Tyreek, Ella, and KD.
Oh my God.
No, listen, I've actually clocked it. Because Tyreek, I had it in my head, it's gone now. So Ella came back and said, I brought Uzi back because I thought you missed the game. I didn't trust you, so I thought that you would have done madness in Casa. You're hurt. I understand, Tariq. I understand. You wanted to make her your girlfriend. I understand. So now why are you going back and flirting with KD? You could have looked at that and be like, raw. You know what? I did a madness on Ella. Even though I'm upset with her, let me switch up and try to prove her I'm all for her. But then you want to go touch KD's hair.
Anyways, yeah. Like I always said, be yourself.
That's the best way to live life.
Honestly.
Best way to
you live
and even with that, like I feel like, you know, taking it back to a Christian point of view, it's so true, because when you start developing a relationship with the Father, number one, let me just say, every single story you read about someone in the Bible, they were deeply flawed, they went through changes, God still loved and accepted them. Number one, if people in your life aren't accepting you, He'll call you out on certain things, but He'll accept you. Number two, I only started to really realise how funny I was until I really got deep into Christ. Because I remember I had this experience, right? And honestly, it sounds mad. Like, even when I was experiencing it, it didn't seem like it was something that you would... I don't know. It just seems like, how did that happen? But I just remember, I went into my quiet place and immediately the Holy Spirit came over and I was shook. I was like, are you trying to reveal something to me? Am I going to... what's going on? And I felt this, like funny sensation, like this tickly sensation in my belly. And then I remembered, I don't know if Rev said this or like a pastor said this, about how sometimes like the Holy Spirit, like God is really, when he wants to spend time with you, like he's excited when you read your Bible, you speak to him, you need quiet time, like sometimes it's a kind of like urgency, because you know he's excited to like want to spend time with you. And then God then reminded me of the previous day, where this is when I started to learn about how I pray, which is through conversation, just me talking, just sometimes saying nonsense in prayer, but I'm speaking to God, right? And I remember after I prayed that way, I was like, oh, you know, maybe I should like start praying more formally. Like it's just too like, you know, sometimes when you're first in the faith, you do things like very
Yeah.
And in that moment, with the tickling and, you know, the tickling sensation, the Holy Spirit revealed to me that the way that I prayed the previous day, like God actually liked that. Like he found it funny. Like he found me funny. And ever since that day, I've been receiving... I'll just have people just tell me I'm funny.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, won't he do it? Someone said to me that they saw the progression in me in the podcast of like how my faith has grown. And the only reason why I'm so open is because it's not even to be like, oh my God, everyone does need to be Christian, but like everyone needs to be, it's not even that. It's because what I've experienced, I want everyone else to experience it. Like, I'm so sorry. If you are someone who your whole life you've gone through identity crisis, people don't accept you. God told me I'm funny. Nobody now can tell me I'm not funny.
And that's right.
Like, I'm so sorry.
And that's right.
I'm so, like, you cannot come to me and say, oh, Jen, you're a bit... No.
You're like, no.
Do you know?
Excuse.
Do you know who my father is? Do you know how he confirms? And it's just, and even the way he does it, it's mad. So, guys...
But honestly, I genuinely love that you gave that example, because this is the thing about when you've seen someone, because like going back, we've been friends for like 15 years now, 15 years plus, because it's going to be 16 years at the end of the year. So I've seen to me, you've been exactly the same, but I've seen you progressively show the different sides of yourself. But the side that I never saw was the Christian side. I'm not saying there's a Christian side, but
maybe I was lukewarm.
Like you being passionate for Christ, because especially in times in school where because me personally, I feel like I've always been very kind of firm with my faith. Like I didn't care who you were. I wouldn't say I was the strongest Christian, but I've always believed in what God has said about what I should do and what I shouldn't do. I've believed that so strongly that no one could... That's something about me that never changed. But I never really tried to force that on you guys. I remember there's times where I was like... I would try to be like, Jen, come to my church. And she'd be like, no. I'm like, that's fine. I was still friends with her.
Like I even remember, I thought about this the other day. I felt bad when you invited me to miracles and baptism. And I was just like, yeah. And I feel really bad because... now when I watch baptisms, I get emotional.
Yes, it's like, These times, which is why I personally, I'm not one of those people that generally believes in dropping all your friends that are not Christian. I would say that you have to be a bit intentional and not allow them to just drag you into everything. If you're strong enough to keep them, then keep them, but be wise. Because imagine I just stopped talking to you and talking to everybody because I'm like, you guys are not Christian enough. Because we really had different views about
at some point.
Like very, very different views. Very different views. And yet I still didn't make it. I wasn't like trying to mold you.
Yeah.
That's different, because sometimes people feel like all my friends need to be Christian. It's a good thing, but you can't force them, because it's down to the Holy Spirit. That conviction is the Holy Spirit. You can encourage them, but if they don't want to, which is why God gave everybody a free will and gave me a free will, and I chose this journey. So it's like, it's nice when your friends join you on that journey, but you can't force them. But it still doesn't mean you can't say how good it is, like you'll do it now. But it's like, even that, at that point, even though it was so different, that's the only part I can say that 100%. I didn't see that side coming. I didn't see you becoming this on fire for Christ. Because you were so far.
Jesus is here. I was all the way there. No, it's true. It's true.
And your way of being far is so subtle. Because you wasn't far in the sense that you was out in the world doing the absolute most. It was your mindset. I couldn't explain it. Like,
I know what you mean.
You say something, I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I was like, yeah, that's no problem. And I'll leave it there, because I'm like, you're not about to make me angry. Because of what? Because of conversation. Get out of here, man. You gotta know me and get me angry. Nah. So those, I'll say yes. So in that sense, I'm like, you was just so far. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, God, what is this?
God said, give it time.
And then, this is why God doesn't know. God's way God does stuff is amazing. But anyways, it's like, this, at least I still didn't force her to be what she... Because then imagine if you felt forced. It wouldn't be... All that you're doing now... This Jen does way more than me, by the way. With the whole... Especially being on, like... With church and just being involved.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God. So... Why are you laughing?
The way you like... She does wet, but I actually do. I actually do.
I'm not lying. No, she literally does. Imagine if I forced you.
No,
you wouldn't. You would come once in a while. Like, I feel Tom to come.
Yeah. Anybody new here?
Oh God. Now you're doing it because you've evolved. This is the beauty about identity and growing and identifying who you actually are and growing into yourself. Because when you now do the things that you want to do, you do it with all the love, all the energy. You do it full-heartedly because you want to do it, because you chose to do it. And that's why even God, to going back to the root of identity, even God gives us the choice to identify ourselves and says, you can choose me or you can choose the world. That's a way of identity, because you're identifying who you belong to.
Yeah.
Even at the root of it, God still gives us that choice, which means identity is down to you to decide what you want to identify as. So you should never let anybody tell you, or they can tell you what they feel like you are, but it doesn't mean you have to accept it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to end my...
No, I think that was a great way to end the episode. Well done, Favour. Well done.
Honestly, it's been beautiful. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it this much, but I feel like this topic, there's so much to say about this. So I can go on, man.
If you guys want a part 2, let us know.
Honestly, I'll do it again.
No.
Because identity is one of those things you need to... Is so many layers to uncover. Like,
So many. But yeah, guys, we hope that it was sisterly. I don't know if we gave off that vibe, you know.
I feel like we gave the advice of like... I would say we didn't really go back to saying young people. We just gave the advice in general.
Takes it.
If you want.
But yeah, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I definitely enjoyed. I mean, I did not expect to tell that story. Just
honestly, it's been a beautiful episode. I feel like anyone that's struggling, you're not alone. Like even as we're talking, we're still discovering different parts, different elements. If that's even the words, like.
Yeah,
different sides to ourselves. Like every year is something different.
Oh, 100%.
Like, yo.
100%.
So like, well, at least, but the difference is the standpoint we're coming from is we are fully aware of our core values and what we wouldn't change. Whereas some people might not be at that stage yet. So it's like everybody's at different stages with identity.
we hope that this has in some way been inspirational. It's been, it's given you, something to think about, and, just to don't rely too much on the internet. Really just dig deep into yourself, dig deep into God. And we honestly hope that this has been something that it's not just, because I said to Favour, I don't want this to be an episode where you guys just listen to us talk and that's it.
We hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and we would love to see you guys here again, same time, same place next week.
We love you so much, and we will see you later. Good boy. Love. Beautiful.
It was a lovely episode. I loved it.